up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Athletic Club in La Liga. Another big test for the blaugrana coming up in the league, where of course the objective is to win it by the end of the season, and a familiar face is returning to the Camp Nou. But this game is very important, and where the 3 points could be vital for Barcelona's season. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into the preview, I want to give you guys a big announcement that was actually made yesterday, and that's that Pablo Gavi is the winner of the 2021-2022 Golden Boy Award. As we all know, the Golden Boy Award has been going on, I think, since 2004, 2005, and it's always given to the best under 21 player. Of course, Gavi won the Copa Trophy last week, but that was a fairly new trophy. This is, the OG one, and he won it. And the voting people came out, I believe, this morning, of which so the people who vote for the under 21 player are the former Ballon d'Or winners. So your Messi's, your Modric, your other players as well. But funny enough, both Ronaldos, Nazario and Cristiano, did not vote. I don't know why, but all Ballon d'Or winners vote. So anyways, we saw the Barca boys came in clutch. So Messi voted Gavi first, Rivaldo, Stoichkov, the OG Luis Suarez. But Dino did it. He voted for Camavinga. I didn't even have Gavi in his top 3. So Dino's on fraud watch. I think Van Basten and Nedved also gave Gavi first place, so watch out for Juventus coming for Gavi in the future. I think there's another Ballon d'Or winner he gave Gavi first. I think his name is Igor Belanov, something like that. But Gavi did come in a lot of the top 3s, and that's what got him those extra votes. And I think also Luis Figo as well voted Gavi first as well. So he did win the Ballon d'Or, of course, for Barcelona, so, we'll take that into consideration. But anyways, congrats to Gavi. This, for me, is a bigger accomplishment than winning the Copa Trophy. But once you win the Copa Trophy, because that's also voted by the Ballon d'Or, former Ballon d'Or winners, you're going to win this one as well. So congrats to Gavi. That's now back-to-back for Barcelona for the Golden Boy Awards. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in La Liga. And this match, of course, will be taking place at the Spotify Camp Nou, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed as well. On the pitch will be Juan Martinez Muniera. I hate him so much. And on the VAR, it will be Jose Luis Gonzalez. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table. Barcelona are currently sat in second place in La Liga on 25 points. After playing 10 matches, we have 8 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And you look at our last 5 games in the league, 4 wins, 1 loss. Now, of course, that 1 loss is the first place Real Madrid, who have 28 points and are 3 points ahead of us. 10 matches played, 9 wins, 1 draw. Now, third place at the moment is Real Sociedad. They always creep up the table like mid-season, and then they drop off at the end, but they're back there again on 22 points, so we do have that 3-point cushion. But here's the big part for me. We have now a 5-point cushion to 4th place Atletico Madrid, because of course, if you look at their last 5 games, they did drop points. I believe Rayo Vallecano in their last match. Shout out Falcao for that 90-minute penalty. So again, the gap between 2nd and 3rd is as big as 1st and 2nd. So there is it's not security, but I said now the 2nd and 4th place gap is starting to widen up a lot. Now, if you look at the top teams and who they'll be facing this weekend, so Real Sociedad will be traveling to Real Valladolid. That should be comfortable win on paper, of course. Real Madrid will host Sevilla at the Bernabeu. Now, Sevilla always crumble against Real Madrid, but they are a good team, so you never know. But the big match of the weekend is Betis will be hosting Atletico Madrid. I believe that is 4th versus 5th. I think Betis have 19 or 18 points, and of course Atletico Madrid do have 20. So another big opportunity here for Barcelona. If we can win our games, we can hope for Sevilla to pull something out of the bag. We hope for maybe a draw. I think a draw in the Atletico Betis game would be perfect as well. The gap could come bigger. I think, again, we have to wait for Real Madrid to slip up, which is not in our hands. But if we can make that gap between 2nd and 4th bigger, it can give us some wiggle room. So we drop a point here or there, it won't be as big of a deal. And of course, Real Madrid, they will drop points at some point as well. So again, huge game for Barcelona to come closer to 1st place, of course, and make the gap with 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th bigger as well. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Athletic Club and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat in 6th place in La Liga on 18 points. After playing 10 matches, they have 5 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses. But if you look at the last 5 games in the league, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. So the recent form has not been that great. I do believe they are undefeated away from home this season, with a lot of them being draws. Now, by the way, Betis have 20 points. That Real Madrid game, oh not Real Madrid, sorry, Atletico Madrid game, we need a draw as well. But Athletic Club have been around the top 4 a lot at the beginning of the season, but in those last 3 games, they have dropped down to 6th place, barely making those European spots. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Athletic Club. Now, alongside Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're one of the most historic teams in the league. Never have they ever been relegated. They're also the only team with the entire squad being of Spanish descent. Of course, Iñaki Williams over the summer did switch his nationality to Ghana, so he's still kind of Spanish as well. So pretty much the whole entire team is Spanish. There's not one international player, which of course gives them that extra bit of, unique side to them. But the last time we played them was also at the Camp Nou, and that was during that great month or two under Xavi, when we were beating every single team by 4-0 or 4-1, 4-2. And in this match, it wasn't any difference. Look at the lineup. Of course, a lot of those players are now missing. No more Dest, no more Adama, no more Oba. But in that game, we absolutely dominated them. Although it was 1-0 from Aubameyang, then we took a long time to get that second goal. Dembele came on during that contract situation, got the goal. Then we scored 2 goals on the counter-attack in the last few minutes with Luke de Jong and Memphis Depay as well. But again, still dominated Athletic Club in that match. Absolutely no shadow of a doubt. Now, if you take a look at the last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match they drew 2-2 with Getafe, they lost to Atletico Madrid 1-0, they drew 1-1 with Sevilla, they beat Almira 4-0, they beat Rayo Vallecano nearly 3-2, and they also beat Elche 4-1. Now let's take a look at their last 3 games. Of course, first up is that 1-1 draw against Sevilla. Now this match was close. You can say on paper this is a very evenly matched game, and of course taking into consideration as well that the club did go away from home, but in this match it was even. We saw Oliver Torres get the very early goal, and then Athletic Club were pressing and pressing and pressing. They got the goal near, I think, the last few minutes of the game, and it was Vesga. Then after that they just took the draw and went home with it, so they'll be happy with the draw, especially getting a big stadium like Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan against a hard team in Sevilla. Next up is a 1-0 loss to Atletico Madrid. This was at home. I did watch this game, and you know what, Athletic Club, they weren't poor on the night, but I think in the final third they could have been much better. I think Iñaki Williams did miss a few chances in this match. They weren't really clinical, but Atletico Madrid, like they always do, they're parking the bus. They only get a few opportunities, and Antoine Griezmann did put the ball in the back of the net. And the last match of all competition was a 2-2 draw to Getafe. Now, I did watch this match, and I tell you what, I think Getafe were the better team. They were on the front foot. Of course, they had the hosting, but Getafe were not clinical on the night. I think what's his name, Borja Mayoral, the former Real Madrid striker, missed a lot of chances in this match. Although Alinia's goal was lucky, Athletic Club scored early with Iñaki Williams, and Raul Garcia gave them the 2-1 lead. Then they came back in Munir super sub. I think they took off Mayoral, and then they brought on Munir, and in the end, they walked away with the draw. But again, not very convincing Atletico Madrid in their last 3 matches. Now on the screen right now is the line that I believe that Ernesto Valverde will select for Athletic Club. Firstly in goal will be, of course, the Spanish first choice goalkeeper Unai Simon. Back for De Marcos, Inigo Martinez, Yuri Alvarez, and also Yuri Bershiche. He could bring in Balenciaga, I highly doubt that, but I would say, guys, keep an eye on Inigo Martinez, who of course we do have a verbal agreement with to sign as a free agent this upcoming summer. Double pivot, of course, I think he'll go with Ander Herrera and also Vesga. He could bring in Visidro in there as well, or maybe even Danny Garcia if he's really feeling bold, but I highly doubt that. But I do believe the front 4 is set in stone. Of course, Munayin, the captain, at the 10. Bloody Iñaki Williams' brother, Nico Williams, man. I thought, Iñaki Williams, again, we'll talk about him right now, turns into prime Ronaldo against us. I'm talking Nazario, Brazil. Every single time the man haunts me in my dream. I'm like, you know what, he's coming to the end. They just produced another one with his brother Nico Williams. Of course, he's doing very well in the Spanish squad, so we'll see if he goes to the World Cup. Then on the left, you'll have Berenguer, a very, very technical winger. Not, you can say, pacey, but very good on the ball. And of course, Iñaki Williams up front leading the line. They do have some good players on the bench. They could bring in Velibre, remember the trumpet guy back in the day with the Super Cup. They have very good options off the bench, but again, I think this is Valverde's strongest lineup. So overall, final thoughts on Athletic Club. Of course, they're a very strong team, very experienced team, and they're very well managed by their manager, Ernesto Valverde, who of course is the former Barcelona manager. He was the manager when our downfall begun. Was it his fault? Not necessarily, but he was the manager at the time. I got a lot of memories of Valverde, a lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones as well. We'll not get into that, but back in the day, we used to call, well, not we, but everyone used to call Valverde the resultista. Of course, we talked about the Cruyff style of the club. They call it the Cruyffista style, but they used to call Valverde the resultsista, which of course means he wants the result. He'll do anything he can to get the 3 points. If he has to park the bus, to park the bus. He has to go all attack and do whatever it needs. So Valverde's a smart guy. I would keep your eyes on what he picks for his lineup and how he approaches the match, because he knows a lot of these players inside and out. Of course, he's worked with all 4 of the captains. I think he worked with, he didn't work with Xavi, but he knows the style of the club. He knows what goes on, and he's a smart man to say the least. But to look out for, again, it's the whole damn team. They got great players in the lineup, and of course off the bench as well, there are some big threats. But I'm more honestly worried about their manager Valverde, because I know for a fact he can do some damage. But again, for Barcelona, the most important thing for me is to win the midfield battle, because the athletic club do rely a lot on their double pivot, and of course their captain Munayin. If you isolate them, I think it won't be a problem. I think their defense is a bit weak, or not, you could say it's vulnerable, so I think Barcelona need to exploit that, and hopefully if we do, create chances, and of course finish them off, because I think if you only get a few in this match, they gotta go in the back of the net, or else you'll be looking back at it saying, oh my god, they're wasteful chances. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Bellerin, Pique, Busquets, Dembele, Pedri, Lewandowski, Ansu Fati, Ferran, Alonso, Jordi Alba, Kessie, Roberto, De Jong, Raphinha, Kounde, Garcia, Naki Peña, Balde, Gavi, Pablo Torre, and Arnau Tenes. So of course, from the previous squad list against Villarreal, no changes whatsoever. I was hoping to see at least one of Memphis Depay or Andreas Christensen back for this match, but most likely and hopefully they'll be back midweek against Bayern Munich. But for this match, it was too early for them. But other than that, well, not really other than that, but from the last squad list, no other changes. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. Of course, his press conference this morning, he was asked a lot of questions by the media about the squad, fatigue, players' futures, match coming up as well. Talked about Valverde, so let's get and see what he had to say for the big match tomorrow. Xavi started off by saying that we will make changes because there is fatigue in the team and there is discomfort. I would like to give continuation to many players, but we have to prioritize that the team is at 100% when playing on the field. Then asked about Frenkie de Jong, saying that Frenkie de Jong is very good in defense, but he's even better in attack, and Frenkie has to have continuity. He has tremendous potential in the team. I see him as a future player in the team. The question now is really where it is. Is it as a midfield on the right hand side of the interior, or as a pivot? Then asked about the youngsters of the team, he said that firstly, I would like to congratulate Pablo Gavi for winning the Golden Boy Award. He deserves it. He's extraordinary. He sees everything. He's 18 years old, so he's marvelous. He was then asked about Ousmane Dembele, saying that look, Ousmane Dembele, nothing has changed. Dembele is unique, but he has to be more effective in his 1v1 situations. I force him to go in those 1v1 situations, even though he might lose. He will continue to be important for the team. He's then asked about Ernesto Valverde, saying that Valverde, he's a spectacular manager, he's an extraordinary person, and he did a really good work here when he was at Barcelona. For me, his time at Barcelona was excellent. Really, whatever. Then asked about Ansu Fati, saying that Ansu is obviously someone who could make the difference. He's very important to us. Then asked about Pablo Torre, how he's not, I don't think he's played a game in like a month. He said, are you happy with the situation? He said that, look, I'm not happy. No, I'm not with the situation. I want him to play more. He's doing really well, and I want him to play the other day as well, but his moment will arrive. So of course, I think he wanted to bring him on against Villarreal, but then things changed and he decided not to in the end. There's always tension here. This is Barcelona, and here you need to win. The other day we played really well, but tomorrow there's another game against Athletic Club, and it will be complicated for us. He then asked about how Pique is doing after getting booed at the Camp Nou. He's doing well, he's focused, and he's ready to help the team. Then asked, of course, about Inigo Martinez, whether we can sign him, and how's it more so, what is your thoughts on him as a player. He said he's a player who's very strong ability, and he's also very good on the ball as well. He then asked about Marcos Alonso playing as a center back over his past few games, although he is a left back. I believe at Barcelona so far he's played more as a center back than a left back. He said, look, Alonso, the physical profile is important. He wins duels and he's fast. I think a lot of people explode about him saying he's fast. I think he means he's fast as a center back, because of course as a center back he's, not slow. I wouldn't say he's quick, but, he's decent. But, of course, a left back, he's slow as hell. He has good ball output, and he's, of course, left-footed, which is something important. And he has many things to offer us in the team. Then asked about Ferran Torres' confidence. That look, of course, is very obvious. Scoring is important for forwards. In his last 2 games, he's been very good. He does not stop working. We rate him highly here because of the effort he puts in. He's a high-level player, whether he scores or not. He's then asked about set pieces because, as we all seen pretty much this whole entire season, the wingers usually take the corner kicks, but against Villarreal, it was Marcos Alonso. He said, what was the change in that? He said, look, we want to work on set pieces. It's something that we need to improve on. We need to score more goals from set pieces. Then asked about Busquets, saying that Busquets will continue to be an important player for the team, despite Frenkie Young playing well against Villarreal, but of course, Frenkie will be important for us as well. There are no main players or bench players at Barcelona. There's only Barcelona players. Then asked about possibly resting Pedri, saying that, look, I try to let everyone rest, but he is essential in the way that we play, and I prioritize the way we play over, players' options on the bench. Finally, he was asked about Franck Kessie about his minutes over the past few weeks. That look, the competition in the midfield is fierce. He's training really well, but he's being a great professional about it, and I'm sure that he'll get more minutes as we go throughout the season. And that included Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Athletic Club tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup predictions. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best with his lineup, but of course it would be very difficult to predict. In the press conference, he hinted that there's a lot of players with discomfort, fatigue, and also that this will be a physical match. But I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now. I think I'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Roberto, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Jordi Alba, midfield 3 of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Lewandowski, Dembele, and Ferran Torres. Now I want to start with the front 3 first. This front 3 selection tomorrow will tell me whether or not Xavi has learned. I think we can all agree that one of Ousmane Dembele and Raphinha, and then one of Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati have to start. Gives us different, profiles on the wings. I think if he's gonna pick one of each, he'll go with Dembele on the right and Ferran on the left, or vice versa. Of course, Lewandowski will be playing a striker. Poor guy has no replacement, but credit to him. So I don't think Xavi will go with Dembele Raphinha. I think he'll do something else, whether it's Ansu Dembele, Ansu Raphinha, whatever it may be. If he goes with Dembele Raphinha, I would be worried. Now for the midfield 3, based on what he said in the press conference, talking a lot about physicality, and I don't know why, I have a funny feeling that he may start Kessie in this match. If hopefully De Jong's not the one that has discomfort, because that means Busquets comes back in. I think there is a good chance. I feel like, of course, I made this team before the press conference. I'm now thinking that I can see Busquets or Kessie starting depending on who Xavi wants to drop. If he wants to, rest, not drop, but, rest. If he wants to rest De Jong, I could see Busquets coming back in. He wants to give Pedri or Gavi rest, and we could see Kessie, but I'm still pretty firm on that midfield 3. And the back 5, I think it's set in stone. I would be shocked if any of the center backs, right back, or goalkeeper change. Of course, on left back, it's always questionable because we do have 3 of them. But with Jordi Alba playing really well against Villarreal, I can't see Xavi dropping him. I think Xavi does give the recognition to players after they play well. Usually, if he played, average Jordi Alba, it would be Alejandro Balde coming in. But with that good performance, I think he will stay in the squad. And that's one thing that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, let me know what you think Xavi will select down in the comments below. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach. And I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup, and of course I'm still sticking with my beliefs. Hashtag no captains in the lineup. My last on the screen right now, I've gone Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Bellerin, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Balde, midfield 3 of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Ousmane Dembele, Lewandowski, and Ansu Fati. Now, you could say having an agenda against the captains, whatever, but I think at home you can maybe get away with it. But for me, I'm just really firm on them not playing. I think this is a good game for Bellerin to come in. Of course, I think Kounde, Garcia definitely a center back pairing. And again, Balde for me is the future of the left back position, so I want him to get used to playing at big, physical, intense games at the Camp Nou. Again, midfield 3. I would bring in Kessie if one of them has discomfort or fatigue. He'd be my first priority. If Pedri's injured, then I'd probably put Kessie there. If Gavi's injured, put him there. And if De Jong's injured, I'll put Kessie as the pivot as well. Try him out, why not? And of course, Xavi did mention a lot about physicality. Front 3, Lewandowski starts for me. Again, he did get some rest in the last game, which is good. And for my wingers, I would go with Ansu Fati over Ferran, slipping on the fact that he scored a goal, and I feel like he has a bit more confidence at the moment. And also, I do like the pace on Ansu over Ferran as well, and I do think Dembele is the better out of him and Raphinha as well. And that's the line that I would select for this match. But of course, let me know in the comments below, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I wouldn't say I'm confident, but I believe that Barcelona will win this match, and I have going Barcelona winning this match by 2-0. I think the first goal in this match is very key. I think if Athletic Club get the first goal, we're gonna be on the ropes for the entire match. I cannot stress that enough. If we score first and they bring it back to 1-1, I'll still be confident that we can bring it back and get the 3 points. But I think like Athletic Club score first in this match, it's gonna be ropes for Barcelona in the sense that it will be, very, very difficult to make that comeback. But I think the lineup, of course, will be important for Xavi, whether or not he makes some fresh changes or sticks with the same team, despite the fact in the press conference he said that people have fatigue and have discomfort as well. And also look at the side of Athletic Club as well. How will Valverde approach it? Will he go with the same thing naturally, 4-2-3-1, or will he choke it under pressure and change it up to a 3 at the back, or go with a 4-4-2 flat? I think the managers' lineups will have a big impact on how the game is played, from the get-go. But overall, I do believe that Barcelona will win this match, and I have gone with Barcelona win this match by 2-0. But of course, let me know your score predictions down in the comments below. So that was my match preview for Barcelona versus Athletic Club in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing I want to know firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, whether I pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup, what do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go if you were the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow straight to the match by match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Nothing but the 3 points. Take care and force the Barca.